Good evening, welcome to Rosslyn Court. My name's Morag Butler, and welcome to everybody at home and to everybody who's come out this evening on this hot evening, although it's not so bad this evening in Margate. Sorry, people elsewhere, I know you're sweltering, but you can enjoy this in your own living room. Yeah. We all have a fan. We all have a handheld fan, which is very ecologically sound. Yeah, if a little noisy. Yeah, so we're going to be absolutely fine. I'd like to welcome into the room Melissa Todd, who should have won TV's Nobody Fool recently. She should, shouldn't she? Yeah. Yeah. There was a bit of skullduggery there. Not fair. Not fair at all. You was robbed. Yeah. So, we live in turbulent times. Sit back and enjoy the healing of music and poetry, please. I'm going to start with a song from the 17th century because I like to keep up to date. And it was around then to teach people about the new rent laws that had just been brought out. So they used this song to actually tell people how the rent laws worked. Okay. So they obviously had better comms people than the government at the moment. And here we go. Okay, you ready? It's a story. You ready? Okay. And it's from Islington. John, the reason I'm doing it is because you've come all the way from Islington, yeah? And I know what you get up to up there, so, yeah. There was a fair maid of Islington, as I've heard many a tell, and she went down to London town as pairs apples to sell. As she was going along the road, a vintner she did spy. How much must I pay you, fair maid? One night with you to lie. If you would lie with me one night, you must pay me £5. A match, the vintner said, and so let this go round. When he had lain with her all night, her money she did crave. Oh no, the vintner said, the devil a penny you have. This maid she made no more ado, but to the justice went. A vintner hired a cellar of me, and will not pay the rent. And so the justice called for him, and as the reason why, that he would pay this maid no rent, to which he did reply, although I hired a cellar of her, and the possession was mine, I ne'er put anything in it but one small pipe of wine. But this fair maid, being ripe of wit, she straight replied again. There lay 2 butts at the cellar door. Why did you not roll them in? The justice told the vintner plain, if you a tenant be, you must expect to pay the rent, for you cannot sit rent-free. And when the maid her money got, she put it in her purse, and clapped her hand o'er the cellar door, and swore it was none the worse. Thank you. Can we please introduce onto the stage Harry Baker?
Thank you very much. I am mostly here as a fan, so I'm going to do one poem and then get out of the way and enjoy it. But this poem, I was asked to write for an event in Bristol around poetry and climate change. I think they figured with climate change that sort of politicians get involved, the scientists hadn't quite cracked it. Time to bring out the big guns. And for me, it's hard to know where to start with something like that. Easy to feel overwhelmed, or that we're sort of individually powerless to stop things. But I tried to take inspiration from the world we find ourselves in and the number of times it has surpassed our own expectations and imaginations. So this is called Impossible, and it goes like this. I'm finding it too easy to tell myself things are too hard. When facing the end, it's too late to even make a start. But if we take impossible to mean that we don't have a chance, we have lost sight of how unlikely it was we would get this far. The way the single fish outwits the shark by sticking with its school. The way the crescent moon outspins its dark to once again be full. Even winter, given long enough, begins to lose its cool. That which was once exceptional now barely registers at all. Flamingos and giraffes like they were drawn by a child. We can't begin to comprehend all of the ways this world is. Why none of them asked if they were possible before they came to be. None of them have ceased to exist by being told they're make-believe. The bug who finds it all too much and tries to shut off everything, to have then summoned up the courage to then stretch its wings. The snake so full of itself that it cannot help but shed its spring. Or how instead of death, the hedgehog went to bed and slept till spring. To think the earth exists at this specific distance from the sun, down to the angle of the axis on which everything is spun, the fact that trees happen to breathe, which we need inside our lungs, would all seem impossible had it not already been done. We are impossible to everyone who's ever gone before, and everyone who's yet to come will push impossible some more, just as indeed the do's we did outdo the don'ts we didn't. So everything's impossible until it isn't. The thought of rivers changing course before somebody gave a damn, or that the tide might turn from shore before a line's drawn in the sand. We cannot know how far our actions go, the impact they might have. Sometimes the only thing that we can do is to do what we can. Just as the night is at its darkest when it's introduced to day. Just as the dry is at its harshest in the breath before it rains. It's easy enough to believe in something when it's all okay. But it's when times are at their hardest that it's hardest to have faith. Yet when the light begins to fade, that's when we need it the most. It's by surviving day to day that we see seasons evolve. If there was never any doubt there'd be no reason for hope, it could be too late to do anything. It sure as hell is if we don't. And I am tired of that doom and gloom and self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm trying to find room to bloom and self-fulfill the opposite. When it's an act of revolution to try to stay remotely positive, there's nothing wishy-washy about opting to be optimists. Whether a brighter future is possible, we may not truly know. But the first step towards that future is imagining it so. So as indeed the do's we did outdo the don'ts we didn't, so it remains impossible until it isn't. And when it's over, and we're no more than old bones within the ground, still the soil knows to grow its seeds from what is broken down. What is lost is always lost until the moment it is found. And these things only ever go one way unless we turn them round. We are so constantly surrounded that it's easy to forget. This world was built upon impossible that has not stopped us yet. So yes, indeed, the do's we did outdo the don'ts we didn't. It only stays impossible until it isn't. Thank you.
Harry Baker. Harry, where can people get your book?
Margate Bookshop.
At Margate Bookshop. And those at home who don't live in Margate? On the Harry Baker website. There you go. That's something you can do when we finish in an hour. Can we please now give a huge, big Rosalind Court welcome to someone that I saw ages ago. I won't. Yeah. Just John Hegley. Yay!
When I say that you belong to me, I don't mean possessively. I mean like green belongs to a cucumber. I mean like reddish brown belongs to roofs of terracotta. I mean like the railway observers belonging to the numbers they have spotted on the trains, their railway gotten gains. They want the ones they haven't got. Somebody has to give a shot. However much the pen may blot, they're cotton on to what is passing through. I belong to you. With sometimes out of reach, but we are each other's beach hut. It's one beach hut for each nut. Somewhere to change, somewhere to rearrange ourselves, somewhere to put stuff on the beach hut shelves that we don't need. A little bit of shelter, when we're off kilter. Thank you very much. I was born in Islington. We moved to Luton when Angela, my sister, was coming along because we couldn't afford another room in London. And this is a little song about the little bungalow in Luton in which we lived. A little bit of joining in, should you wish. Joining in is optional. So when I sing Luton Bungalow, if you could sing two lows and a bungalow, so it goes me. In a Luton bungalow, then it's you. Low, low, Luton bungalow. Okay, let's give it a go. In a Luton bungalow, first low, second low. My mother was of Kentish stock from Ramsgate by the sea. She cleaned the place around the clock and around the settee. She cleaned the household surfaces like she had to get below the surface of existence in our Luton bungalow. My father's mother, she was French and he was from Paris. I like to think of me father as the Luton fleur-de-lis. When my father lived in southern France, he would sit behind an easel, teasing out the essence of a scene. But something must have happened in between France and Luton, 'cause it didn't tend to seem like he was talented. His dedicated brushwork didn't show, except for running round the skirting board or touching up the palmet in our Luton bungalow. But one spring I watched him kneeling with a beanpole snapped in two. It was a stick of old bamboo. He was leant above the wet cement. He was zigzagging a line, engraving crazy paving, engrossed in the design. It was a work he failed to sign. Imagined slab by zigzag slab beneath the curving window out the front. We should have hung out bunting, let the beach ball colours show, for all unsung potential in each Luton bungalow. Luton bungalow. For all unused abilities, for undiscovered skills, for confetti which has not been cut, no horseshoe shapes or frills, for me mum's soft singing voice, it was a choice to hardly show. And for the wave she gave my dad each day, he went to sell his labour, and especially for the moments she kept waving, although he'd passed around the corner, for the waving which my father didn't know. For the love inside, the love inside, the love inside that Luton bungalow. Thank you. So I was down at the Turner Gallery today, had a lovely ice cream sitting on the deck chairs. Well, just one of the deck chairs. And this is the differences between dogs and deck chairs. A deck chair doesn't beg or cock up its leg. Deck chairs don't sniff each other. Deck chairs can't swallow or swim or growl. Deck chairs aren't her or him. Deck chairs don't join in games with sticks. There are no prizes for well-trained deck chairs. Deck chairs rarely have names, except deck chair. People don't have trouble putting up a dog. Dogs' legs don't have little notches in. A deck chair's legs are much stiffer, with no knees. A dog is better at running after frisbees. Deck chairs can be stacked quite neatly. Dogs have more hairs. Deck chairs have more letters. Deck chairs don't sniff about in autumn leaves. A deck chair receives little praise. Thank you very much. So this is a piece that I wrote with my friend Jane Ireland, whose husband Matt comes from Margate. I was hoping he might be able to come along tonight, but he was in Italy. But the poem is here for us to share. So this is Peter the Parrot. I do know this one. Peter the orange parrot had a very tiny beak. Unlike the other parrots, he was never heard to speak. But they were never nasty to him, Peter the non-talking parrot. They just thought that he was a very, very fluffy carrot. Then one sunny jungle day, Santa Claus got lost, and Peter with the tiny beak suddenly was heard to speak. And he directed Santa Claus back to Lapland, to be in the lap of all the other lovely laps. While the other parrots had been talking, Peter had been reading maps. Thank you very much. So in 2012, I had the privilege of being poet in residence at Keats' house in Hampstead, and I discovered a much more playful poet in the letters. Michael Horowitz, the poet, said to me when he heard I had the residency, "You've got to read the letters," and he was right. I had to read the letters, and I recommend you do too. As I say, a more playful poet I discovered in a letter to his brother George and sister-in-law Georgina in December 1818. He said, "Nothing particular happened yesterday evening, except that when the tray came up, Mrs. Dilk and I had a battle with celery stalks. She sends her love to you." In response to which I wrote the following. "You played the way you worked at John Keats, played hard. With Mrs. Dilk, with celery on guard. On the landing with your landlady, a new event was marvellously made, with the greenery a lunging in leguminous, a swish and swash, a poetry voluminous, the ballad of a salad day, and then the celery as mighty as the pen." Thank you very much. No, you wait till there's a consensus with the applause. So John Keats, as I say, playful, but also very loving of his family. And I'm going to sing you a song now about John Keats and his sister, Fanny. So this is from Fanny Braun. That was his beloved Fanny Keats, who was his junior by, I think, 5-6 years. and he really wanted to look after her. She was living in Walthamstow, he was living in Hampstead, around about 9 miles. He didn't have the money to get the coach, and so he would walk over to see her, whatever the weather. And this is a little song about John Keats going to visit his sister Fanny. And I'm going to ask you to sing the word Walthamstow in this, and we'll always get a bit of laughter there. And we move on to this instrument here, which is not a ukulele, it's a steel-strung instrument. Some of you may be wondering what it's called. It's called Steve. It's a cavaquinho, it's a Portuguese fado instrument. Okay, Thanet, let's rock. All right, let's not. So your word is Walthamstow, so I'll give you a nod, and we're going to get a bit folky here. This is a club known for its folk ethos, so we're going to get very folky with our Walthamstow. So we're going to, Walthamstow. I need to get stupid about it, though. I said no need to get stupid about it, okay. So we're going to try that. So you get a nod. So if you get a bit confused and sing Luton Bungalow instead, there's no problem there. It's sort of too fit. It's like this for an hour and a half, in case you're wondering. Okay, so here we go with the nod. Okay, we're not going to bother with that one. No, all right, come on, we've got to give it a go, haven't we? We've got to give it a go. Walthamstow. Okay, and we get, there's 3 lines from a John Keats letter in this song. When I get to those 3 lines by John Keats, I don't want to be stealing the lines of John Keats, so when I get to those lines, I'll raise my eyebrows thus. You will know that it is the lines of John Keats that I am uttering. On one occasion, somebody got confused with the raising of the eyebrows and the nod, and they give us a Walthamstow. John Keats, when he could, then he would go to see Fanny, his sister, who lived in rain or sleet or heat or snow. On his way to as far as we know, as far as he could, he'd take the route which would be taken by a crow, off to see his little sister. Never mind the blister on his toe, on his way to one day on his way to see her, John Keats found a garden centre, purchasing some plants to please her. In one of his letters to her, he had this to say: you did not say a word about your chilblains. Write to me directly and let me know about them. Your letter shall be answered like an echo. Over in Walthamstow, John Keats, man of poetry and family and love and nature, do complain if chilblains give you woe. And if you're living low on love, then do please let me know, and I will come a-running, or at least a walking sprightly, via Tottenham and Hornsey. Last stop, Walthamstow. It's a bit difficult to get to that glass of cold water, so I'm having the cold tea, which Morag very kindly gave me earlier on. Still good, Morag. Okay, so we're going to move on to another book. So that's the... so this is A Scarcity of Biscuit. This is a phrase that John Keats... Oh, look, there we are. Look at this, the folk community. So we move on to this book here, which is New and Selected Potatoes. This is selections from the... New and Selected Potatoes, various books that have been published over the years. So my name is Hegley. My grandfather was from Strood in Kent. And he came over and he saw my grandmother dancing with the Folies Bergère, it's true, in 1904, fell in love with my grandmother, so I had an older dad. Dad was born in 1905, so Dad was half French, the bottom half. My grandmother completely French, although she had an English husband, and so her English was excellent. And so Grandma would write to me letters that were in her good English, excellent English. And those letters I don't have anymore, sadly. My father and I were so keen on stamps, we kept the stamps and threw the letters away. It's true. But what we didn't throw away was the essence of those letters, and so that I recollect. So this is a letter from my grandmother to myself when I was maybe 9 years of age in the bungalow. And I was in love with Jane at school and wasn't able to tell Jane that I loved her. Her name is still Jane Sanderson, and I used to call her Sandy Bags, which wasn't particularly inventive, but that's all right, Sandy Bags. And Wojtek, who was sitting in the other side of Jane, used to say other things to her, like, your work is very neat, your hair smells nice, you've got a very well-defined sense of your own being. And Jane preferred this. Anyway, so I couldn't speak to my family about this. Certainly couldn't speak to friends about this. But it's the beauty of a grandparent. You can speak to your grandparent about it. So Grandma has received news of my love for Jane, and has responded to my letter. My dear grandchild, thank you for the drawing of your dog, which is accurate but lacking in vitality. I can see that the creature is asleep like our own here beside the fire. It is a challenge to breathe life into the image, a challenge to which you have failed to rise. If I did not tell you such things, I would be shirking my work as a grandmother. So, you wish for an old woman's advice about approaching this young beauty at your school. My advice is plain. If you love her, tell her. I cannot make it plainer. If you love her, tell her. Spill the beans, as your grandfather would say. He called me his blancmange. I called him my potato, because he was versatile. And his collars were very well starched. In French, we say tu me manques. You are missing to me, you see. The beloved is put first, not the self. Put the beloved first. Write to this girl of your feelings. Let the beans be spilled. But do not bother to enclose any of your drawings.
John, I'm just going to interrupt for 1 minute to talk to the people at home. If you are enjoying this live stream as much as we are, please, if you can, could you donate to the making of this programme? And if you do, while he's still performing, so that's up until 9:30, you will be in the raffle. Now, these people, I haven't told them about the raffle yet, but I'm going to be after buying raffle tickets in the half time. If you send a donation, I will put you in the raffle. And what might you win? Well, what you might win is slightly awkward because John hasn't brought any merch whatsoever. However, he has said that he will donate the book that he's working from. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
For the raffle. And also, if you fail to win that,
Toilet
there's
roll,
always
beautiful.
who gives a crap toilet roll. Second prize. Now, John, for the people at home, and also these people when they go home and say, God, I wish I could have bought his book. Where can people actually get your merch if it actually exists?
Many of these you can get in the shops, but I would say about this, particularly about the Keats book, A Scarcity of Biscuit, which was published by a small press in Carlisle, Caldew Press. And then you can go to my website and you can find out the address and write to them, and they'll send you a copy of this. So it's £8 plus £1.39 for postage, so it's under a tenner. So I recommend that.
Great. That's good. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, you can carry on now. I'm going away. Yeah.
It's a bit of a surprise. Okay, so let us go to this book here, Morag. This is called Dog, and this is available so with these other books from stores, and it's good for me if you go to the shops and order them. No, it does. It means you're visible. It's true. So this is called Je regrette quelque chose. Some of these jokes of one person. I don't regret never having found the net for a professional football team. I would have liked to, but occasionally I do it in my dreaming. I don't regret no longer having my boyhood clockwork steam train set. It is marvellous in my memory. I don't regret not cross-dressing in fishnet when I was 17 before my beard came. It's a shame, but never mind. I don't regret Bet Lynch leaving Coronation Street. She was good, but so was her innings. I don't regret never having placed a lottery bet in spite of what my winnings might have been. I do regret rather never having had the chance to go to France with my father, getting settled in a bar, perhaps with Monsieur Cantona, and my dad needs no translator, and he's joking with the waiter, and we all play football later. So we return to New and Selected Potatoes by Bloodaxe, a wonderful independent publisher who make an amazing job of putting the poetry world on the map. This is called Glass is Good, Contact Lenses Bad. When I began performing, I performed in Covent Garden. I performed my poems about my glasses in the portico. And I would say rather negative things about contact lenses. And people said to me, what is this problem with contact lenses? Why are you so obsessed with your spectacles? I thought I would put this into a poem to try and make things clear to people. So this is Glass is Good, Contact Lenses Bad. In the embrace of my glasses, I openly accept my vulnerability and affirm my acceptance of outside help. As well as providing open acknowledgement of the imperfection in my eyesight, my glasses are a symbolic celebration of the wider imperfection that is the human condition. In contrast, contact lenses are a hiding of the fault. They pretend the self-sufficiency of the individual and minister unto the cult of stultifying normality. They are that which should be cast out of your vision. They are a denial of the self. They are a denial of the other. They are a betrayal of humanity. This is called Pat. This is for my first girlfriend. Pam, actually. Pam said I hadn't changed her name enough in the title, but anyway, Pat. I said, Pat. You are fat. And you are cataclysmically desirable. And to think I used to think that slim was where it's at. Well, not anymore, Pat. You've changed that. You love yourself, you flatter yourself, you shatter their narrow image of the erotic. And Pat said, what do you mean, fat? so we have the two instruments here. I think I'll return to the mandolin now and sing a song which is about the well, some of the mythological stories, not all of them, just three of them. And in the myths, things go wrong, things go pear-shaped, and this is a song about them going thus. And I'm going to divide the audience now for the singing into two sections. A section, I think, section A here, section B here. People in the middle decide which side you're on. Little political joke for you. Just a small one, as you spotted. Okay, section A, section B. So, so when I'm looking at you, it's your bit, all right? So quite complex. This is how it goes. It all went pear-shaped, pear-shaped. It all went shaped like a pear. It was shaping up so nicely, but it all went pear-shaped, yeah. Okay, so it's going to take a while, I think. Okay, so here we go. It went pear-shaped, pear-shaped. It all went shaped like a pear. It all went shaped like a pear. What did it do? It all went shaped like a pear. Excellent. It was shaping up so nicely. It was shaping up so nicely. What was it in? It was shaping up so nicely. But it all went pear-shaped. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just going to mouth, okay? No singing now, just mouthing. So you have to do the voices. It all went pear-shaped. Good. Pear-shaped. No, it didn't. But it all went pear-shaped. Yeah, but it all went pear-shaped. Sometimes takes 10, 15 minutes to get this right, but I always think it's worth it. Okay, let's try it again, folk. Here we go. Last rehearsal, then we're in the business. Here we go. It all went pear-shaped. You're struggling with this line, okay. But it all went pear-shaped. But it all went pear-shaped. Yeah. See, they know their bit. They know their bit. That's not an excuse to talk. Okay, yeah, that's it. No more rehearsals. On to the myths. King Midas, he decided that more riches would be nice. He never really thought it through or sought any advice. His wish to change things into gold, it only brought him grief. Apples made of metal, they do little for the teeth. It all went pear-shaped, pear-shaped. Shaped like a pear. It was shaping up so nicely. Yeah. Orpheus, like Icarus, was given some advice. Look back at your Mrs. May and you'll have lost her twice. What made him want to turn around? Why did he have to check? Because he was incapable of winding in his neck. It all went pear-shaped, pear-shaped, always shaped like a pear, shaping up so nicely. Yeah. Okay, one more chorus, and on the last chorus, if everybody could do yeah, so we're all ending on a positive note. Here we go, verse 3. Tantalus climbs up a tree to fetch himself a peach, but very tantalisingly it keeps stretching out of reach. All he can hear are others gladly munching underneath, all except for Midas, who is damaging his teeth. It all went. Okay, so I don't know why, but that makes me think of Mum. It does, that song. And so this is a letter, again, we don't have the letters that Mum wrote to her sister Gladys. Mum was brought up in Ramsgate. She was born in 1920. She lived there with her sisters Renee and Glad. And Gladys emigrated to Canada with a Canadian airman. And Mum worked as a nurse during the Second World War in Whips Cross Hospital. And again, this is imagined, but I think, and I hope, capturing something of the essence of what might have been in a letter from my mother to her sister Gladys. Dear Glad, I'm in the nurses' canteen. I've been nursing the men wounded in the air raid on the RAF base, and I've got to tell you, I've fallen for one of them. A little Frenchie he is. Always liked the French, always liked them. Romantic, stylish, oniony. Oniony. Concentrate. He says he wants to start a family, and he says he wants to start it with me. He's been in England since all this kicked off, and he says he don't feel very French anymore, so I said when he's up and about, I'll take him down to Dover, and we can look over at France. He says his mum used to dance on stage in Paris. Remember how we used to dance on the bandstand, Glad? I'll take him there and show him. He says, if we get married, I'll have to become a Roman Catholic. I said, but you've only known me 10 minutes. 7, actually. He said he knew I was the one for him in 7 seconds. I said, what took you so long? Yeah, so yeah, so somebody asked me in an interview where, I know we're going to have some questions later on, aren't we, Maureen? But somebody asked me in an interview where the humour comes from, and it was from Mum. She said Dad had everything in his wallet except money. She loved him, though. So this book here, I Am a Poetato, is a sequence of pieces from A to Z. Z is Zoe. Zoe, Zoe, you had to go. I felt so sad, I wrote this poem. 3 months' work. So this is called An Introduction to Folk. Very relevant in this lovely venue. There's those who'd have you keep folk songs for the sheep. I shared such an aspersion, until immersion in a version of a ballad by the name of Anarchy Gordon, done by one Nick Jones. John Peel it was who brought me to ken the lingering longing in the wavering tones over intricate patterns of the fingering bone, since when many folk songs have moistened my eye, and I can see why the Morris dancer sports a spare hanky. So we had a bit of Keats, a little bit of Wordsworth now. Let's try this one. It's called A Lean Towards the Light. Mr. William Wordsworth won't take sugar in his porridge, he takes honey It's not to do with the money, or the flavour, or the method of production. Okay, I'm going to tell you what, I can't see it very clearly. But I am going to sing it for you. I'm going to sing it a cappella. Mr. William Wordsworth won't take sugar in his porridge, he takes honey. It's not to do with the money or the flavour as much as the moral objection to the method of production. Mr. William Wordsworth measures out his conscience with his spoon. In the face of what is taking place, the boon of Mr. Wordsworth's gesture may seem slight, but it's a lean towards the light. When I put my recycling out, I know my contribution's not equivalent to manning of the barricades in 1930s Spain. But again, it's a lean towards the light, a step in the direction that seems right. Like a monocotyledon that has broken through the surface, starting its existence as a blade of grass or daffodil, the move that's phototropic might be only microscopic, but it's a lean, instinctive in the little bean. It's a lean towards the light. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so we move back to the book Dog, and we move back to Luton for this piece called The Price of Art in Luton. The Price of Art in Luton. On the bridge approaching the railway, the man was begging. I said, draw me a dog and I'll give you a quid. So I gave him some paper and he did. And I said, there you go, mate. You can make money out of art. Will you sign it? As I handed him the £1.30 odd I had in my pocket, he informed me that the signed ones were a fiver. Okay, so we're going to stay in Luton for this piece, which is called Mental. It's on page 66 for anybody following in the text. When I was a school child of 9 or 10, there was a man called Bill, who we called Car Driver Bill, because he would sit on the wall opposite the school gates going through the motions of driving an invisible car. I tended to ensure that I passed on the opposite side of the street being nervous, but when my French grandmother visited us, she came up to the school to pick me up, and because she was a woman of curiosity on seeing Bill in action, she recommended we go over and ask him for a lift. Hearing her French accent, Bill said, please, climb in, madame. There's not a lot of room in these MGB GTs, not even this 3.5-litre model. So it'll be a bit of a squeeze for one of you in the back, I'm afraid. 25 years later, I am in London going for a job with a theatre company. The director happens to ask where I was educated. When I mention my primary school, she tells me that her husband's uncle has lived opposite this school all his life. She says that he likes to sit on his outer wall going through the motions of driving an imaginary vehicle. I say, is his name Bill? She says, yes, it is. I say, is he still driving the MGB GT? And she says, no, he drives a truck now. He's just got his HGV license. So Grandma, Granddad was Kentish. Strood, and there's a piece in here about So Grandad, again, so in this book, there are many imagined pieces, but hopefully catching something of what happened. So Grandad fell in love with Grandma when he saw her dancing in France. His mother was French, which explains, because mobility obviously wasn't what it was, but he was over there, he saw her dancing, fell for her. And so I've imagined, and in Grandad's family, one of the brothers, I think there were 5 brothers, one of them was a theatre person. So some theatricality in my grandfather as well. So I'm imagining here Grandad has seen my grandmother dancing. He's fallen for her. And he wants to sing her a song to declare his love. So this is Grandad's song requesting Grandma's hand and feet in marriage. Let's see if I can remember this. So I'm going to take the mic out of here, John, if this is all right. I just want to get a little bit rock and roll. Only a little bit. Don't want it. So, Grandad, Grandma. I have come over to France from England, where we like to dance the Morris dance, a different dance from dances I have seen you doing. Seeing you doing your dance, how it improves my existence. Just to have a single glance, I'd gladly spend the summer queuing. You can move me from stagnation any time of any day. You improve me when my smile is miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away. You can make me feel I'm zoomy when I'm catacomby. You can make my trials seem like they're a trifle when it seems the world would stifle. You can make me eyeful. I am very happy to report. Oh! You can make it all seem thrilling. You are the full shilling. You're fulfilling my existence. Thank you kindly. You can make me feel I'm conga when I feel no longer than a maggot that is very short. You can put flavour in my flan, can put body in my bran. Can we be one woman and man? Please do say we so that we can begin to plan what we can do, me and uncanny you. We've got 4 more minutes. Okay, so what should we do for our last 4 minutes? Okay, let's have a bit of guillemot work. Okay, so the guillemot is a bird. This is Ocean Place. We are here in Margate. The guillemot goes diving for fishes, and we're all going to be guillemots. I'm going to take on the role of the initial guillemot, the leader of the guillemot tribe. So if you could do these movements, I'll show you what they are. When I say I'm a guillemot, if you could do guillemot wings, you're not obliged to, but if you wish to, I'm a guillemot 1, 2, 3. Water is this. There's a lot to remember. Fish is this. Fish and water is this. Jellyfish is this. Ledges is this. Vertical edges is this. Bird's a diver. Diver. Ocean arriver is this. I'm going to use my bill a lot, eat my fill a lot, and then drill a lot is this. Specky is this. We're dealing with the bridal guillemot, which looks like it's wearing a pair of white spectacles. So specky, recce, rocky windowsill. There's a lot to remember. Here we go. Get those wings ready. I am a guillemot. I use my bill a lot. I get the fish out of the wet. I eat my fill a lot. I live on ledges, vertical edges. Eating wise, I do not know what veg is. Don't you give me sherbet, give me a turbot. My appetite for fish, I cannot curb it. I am a guillemot. I know the drill a lot. I drill into the drink and get the drink and not the ink upon my quill a lot. So you do not thrill a lot. Well, listen, humans, very soon you will a lot. Did you know that I can go so deep I've been seen from the porthole of a submerged submarine 130 metres under? I don't think so. Miss it and blink so. I come in hard and I'm able to sink so. I am a guillemot. I do my specky recce from a rocky windowsill a lot. I am a diver, ocean arriver. Underneath I go, I am no skiver. I am a guillemot. I do my perching and my researching. Then underneath I know I got whoops, what happened there? I am a guillemot. I find the fishes tend to lose 1-0 a lot. But I take only what I need. I'm not a greedy bird. I am sustainable, self-restrainable. I don't do nesting when I am resting. I can sleep while I am standing on one leg, and so it doesn't roll off when I stretch my wings or stroll off. I've got an egg that is conical and eccentrically weighted, so it don't fall off the edge of the cliff face into the water. Water with all the jellyfish and all the other fish. I am a guillemot. Am I not? Thank you.
John Hegley! Well, that was a bit wonderful. Yeah, that was great. This is the end of the first half. I'm afraid you people at home, you have to go off and entertain yourselves from now on. Yeah. But for you, I'd just like to thank, please, Nick on the door, Roger doing the filming, John doing the sound, G doing the cameras, and in her pinny at the bar, Una with Jane. Can I also please thank Harry and Grace for lending us the aircon unit, which we would have been suffering without. And also Una's brought her own unit over there as well, so thank you very much. Haven't we got a great community here? I just love it. I love it, I love it. So, remember to buy his books, remember to buy Harry's books, and come back on July the 9th when we have the Women of Folk, which is Linda Moylan, Rebecca Milam, Lizzie Hardingham, and Louise Hatch. Fabulous, fabulous evening it's going to be. On the 23rd of July, we've got Nick Lawrence. On July the 30th, we've got Nigel Hobbins and the Dreamlanders. They're from Herne Bay or something. Yeah, up there. Yeah. We are closed in August. Don't come here in August. Go to Broad's... Except on the 18th when there's a jazz night. Yeah, when Alex will be running a jazz night. It was fabulous last week. She had 3 really fabulous young men, and women, young people. I meant to say, sorry, I don't know where. Yeah. I'm getting old. So go to Broadstairs Folk Week, the 7th to the 14th of August, especially the sailing club in the afternoon, yeah, which is particularly wonderful. Yeah, if you want more of this. And also on August 14th at 7:30 in the Baptist Church, Suntuo Susu and the Gambian Superstars, great name, eh, are being supported by Morag Butler and the Hired Help. So, yeah. I can't guarantee much filth because it's in a church, but I'll do my best. Okay. So, and then we're back on September the 3rd with Something Sleeps. So, you people at home, set your calendars for July the 9th. That's when we'll be back. People at home here as well. We're going off for a break. My name's Morag Butler. This is Rosalind Court. Thank you very much. Thank you, John. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Harry. Oh, God.